It's Monday, May 12th, 2025. Thanks for joining me today. I will start the video by saying this. I'm a little bit confused. Maybe you can all help me out. The trade war. We have a 90-day pause. So who does this benefit? Who really wins here? Now, a lot of the media today is touting that this administration, that America has won the trade war, even though negotiations continue to go on. It's a 90-day pause. And there's a lot of people out there saying that we did not win this trade war, that this is a complete nothing burger. Stocks love this. Markets love this. Bond yields not looking good. Bond yields absolutely soaring today. But me personally, I'm going to call it the way I see it. Some of you may hate it, but it's the way it goes. I'm going to keep it real. I don't think this is a win for America. I don't think that this is a deal. I think it's a pause. And I think that this administration, unfortunately, is now beginning to realize just how powerful China is. And I get no satisfaction out of saying that. I don't want to move to China. I don't ever want to live in China. I don't ever want China to be the world leader or have the world reserve currency. I think China is a huge threat to America. But at the end of the day, I think China is winning this trade war. Both sides agree to a 90-day pause and no new tariff hikes. I think really it's these pauses that begin to get ridiculous. Either we are holding to our guns or we are not. Either we're dedicated to holding out and winning a trade war, but it just seems like, we go back to a pause. 1 minute we're on, 1 minute we're off. And I think that shows weakness. It also, I think, is a tool, my opinion, to manipulate the stock market. 1 minute the stock market's crashing, the next minute it's soaring. And it's a total roller coaster ride. Did we really get anything from these negotiations? Did we really get anything from this? I will say this. The world is watching. China, Asia, watching this. And I think that they know that this is a bankrupt nation. Again, this gives me no satisfaction to say this. The dollar is on borrowed time. The dollar is weakening, and America is weakening. And I think the world is seeing that. And I think that's why you're seeing countries dumping bonds, trying to get away from the US dollar, why so many countries are doing business with China. They see China is going to be the next superpower. China is playing the long game. We're just playing for today, my opinion. Comment down below on any of this. But watching this play out today, a lot of people are, they're celebrating. Oh, look at the stock market. Everything's fine because the stock market's up. I would be very, very worried if I were you. I'd be very concerned with what I'm watching. To see the stock market bounce almost 1,200 points today on a few words, where we won absolutely nothing. We got really nothing. We have a 90-day pause, and we are backing down from China, and that's clear as day. This administration realizes China is holding the cards. Here's one today from CNBC. China sees the U.S. trade deal as a huge win for Beijing. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Here's another one today. Charles Gasparino, the Fox analyst. I think Charles Gasparino, I don't agree with everything he says, but a lot of it I do, and he's a really smart guy. He says Trump was forced to back off. Charles Gasparino drops blunt analysis of Trump trade cave. Trump raised tariffs on the world. The bond market rebelled. Trump was then forced to back off. We did not win. We raised tariffs, and then China raised tariffs. We lowered tariffs, then China lowered tariffs. Where is the win? I don't see it. Charles Gasparino, do you agree with that? Do you disagree? What did we win? Somebody please explain it to me. Remember, I'm a C- student, so explain it to me. I could be totally lost here. I just don't see a victory. I see a victory for the stock market in the top 10%, but for the majority of this country, I don't think prices are coming down. I think prices are going to continue to go up. Gasparino goes on to say Trump didn't have great leverage in the talks with China and argued the consequence of a prolonged trade war would be dire. We're almost in a recession. We have markets on edge. We need people to buy our debt. China supplies us with lots of cheap goods. And Xi, the president of China, knows this. He knows we need these cheap goods. He knows they have nearly $800 billion of treasury bonds. He knows that he supplies our shelves. He knows we're loaded with debt, that our markets are on edge. He knows all this. So what do you think? What do you think about these negotiations and the trade war? Dow Jones loved it, up 1160. NASDAQ up 780. Look, these numbers are outrageous. 10-year bond yields, as I make this video, 4.473%. What does that mean? It means it's getting more expensive to go buy a house if you need a mortgage. Interest on your credit card debt going up. Need to go buy a car today? You need to finance it? It's going up. You're going to go buy an RV today? You need to finance it? Cost to finance it going up. Bitcoin down 1460 at 1025. Gold was down $83 at 3248. Oil up to $62 a barrel. And again, stocks soar. So what do you think? Very interesting, isn't it? I mean, one thing you have to say, it is a very, very interesting time. So what will we see as far as tariffs? Well, the U.S. is going to reduce tariffs from 145% to 30%. China is going to reduce their tariffs on U.S. products from 125% to 10%. So that's a 20% difference right there. Here's another one today. Trump might claim China tariff victory, but this is capitulation day. Again, I think people should be really worried with what they're watching. And look, I support the administration. In fact, I support any administration because I don't want to see America lose. I don't think we won today, and I think we're going to have a very, very difficult time beating China now. They've gotten so powerful. Again, let me reiterate, I don't want to live there. I don't want to move there. I don't support China. They're extremely inhumane to animals, to people. There's really no religious freedom there. And, you know, you do something with the government there, you may never be seen again. So I don't have a lot of respect for the government there. I'm sure that there's a lot of great people there, but I'm certainly not going to vacation there. I'm not going to move there. But we've got to realize they are a military threat. They are an economic threat. They are a threat across the board. And they, in my opinion, are winning this trade war. To me, again, I think this administration backed off. Everything sounds good. The markets loved it. But I don't see how this is going to help the U.S. economy. And to me, it just shows that we are more dependent on China than ever before, and China knows it. Again, comment down below. Many of you are going to disagree with this, and I hope I'm 100% wrong here. Maybe, you know, this president is playing 4D chess, 5D chess, 10D chess. I don't know. Remember, I'm a C- student. But what I do know is I'm not seeing prices coming down. I'm seeing a lot of stores closing. I'm seeing people hurting. And I don't think that this is going to do much for the average American. Maybe, you know, 10% of the population that's in the stock market, maybe this is going to help them quite a bit. But is it really going to help, you know, Main Street? Is this going to really help the U.S. economy? I don't think prices are coming down. I think that stores, retailers, corporations are going to keep prices high. Wall Street Journal, everybody's replaceable. The new ways bosses talk about workers. You know, there was a time when good workers were a prized asset in America. Today, you're just a number. That does not apply anymore. You know, just a couple years ago, we saw a lot of the employers paying whatever they had to pay to get employees. Employees leaving a job that paid $50 to go do the same job somewhere else for $70. And so it was a crazy time, right? People could leave a job and there were 4 jobs, new jobs available that they could go get more money. They could go get another job, leave that job, go get more money. Those days are over. Employers know that now. Now they have the leverage because there are less and less jobs out there. Take a good look around at what is happening to your economy. You see the stores closing. You know how hard it is to get a job. Many of you have written in the comments that you've applied, to 100 different jobs, 300 jobs. I've seen reaction videos. People have applied to 1,000 jobs and got two replies. The process now to get a job can take a very, very long time. They have so many people to pick from. It's so competitive now. You can't just leave one job and go get another job and make more money. Very, very difficult to replace a good job these days. So if you have a good job right now, stay where you're at, see how this plays out for the next 18 months and go from there. But I would not risk leaving a good paying job right now, even though you don't like it. It may not be your passion, your career path. But right now, if it's paying the bills, I would hold steady for at least 18 months to see how this plays out. I think a lot is going to happen. Elon Musk reveals Doge discovered 100,000 active federal employees who were also collecting unemployment insurance. I got to ask all of you this, no matter what side of the aisle you are on, if this is true, and it looks like it is, do you support this? Somebody asked me the other day, what do you mean by efficient government? Well, I said I want an efficient government. Do you think that this is an efficient government when you have 100,000 federal employees getting unemployment benefits? Absolutely not. An efficient government is making sure that we all know, the people know where the money's going. Every dot or every I is dotted, every T is crossed, that the American people know where the money is going. We're watching so much corruption. This is full-blown criminality, full-blown theft with what we are watching take place with our tax dollars. This is not an efficient government. This is absolutely criminal, what is taking place. So again, right, left, in the middle, are you okay with this? If this is true, do you think that it is okay for federal employees who are currently employed to be getting unemployment insurance or unemployment benefits? I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and these people should be prosecuted for what they're doing. The 500,000 credit cards that were just shut off, we've seen where all this money's been wasted all over the world. Money wasted right here. We can go 2 hours to LA. They're missing $24 billion that was meant for the homeless. Nobody knows where the money is. I mean, most of you, if you were missing a couple $100 out of your checking account, you would probably figure out where it went, right? If you couldn't, you'd be very, very concerned. We are talking $24 billion here in Los Angeles that is missing. And nobody seems concerned. And nobody knows where the money is. I'll finish with this last one. Not a single child tested proficient in math in 80 Illinois schools for reading. This is, again, not an efficient government. The amount of money we pay in taxes, that we pay for the school system here, I think the American people and our children deserve more than this. Again, this is not an efficient government. Money is wasted, not even wasted, stolen, complete criminality, while so many kids in our school system cannot even read or are reading at a third grade or less level. This, again, reiterates, this is not an efficient government. I mean, isn't this what the government's for? We have schools and, take care of roads and infrastructure, but we got radar systems at the airports shutting down. We have glitches. We have systems shutting down. Planes can't take off. They can't land. Planes are flying around for 90 seconds without radar. Is this really an efficient government? This is what I mean. Like, what are we paying taxes for? We want an efficient government. This is what we pay for, and we're not getting it. Where is the money going? When your kids cannot even read, what are we paying for? Why do we not have an efficient government? Again, it's another reason probably why we need a lot less government, because they're just not doing their job and we are not getting our money's worth. I'm going to leave it there today. Again, let me know what you think about these negotiations. Did Trump surrender? Are we watching the self-destruction of America? Are we going to see higher prices? Are prices going to come down? Let me know your thoughts on this, what you're seeing. I go to the store pretty regularly, and I don't see prices. I may see some areas come down a little bit, but I'm seeing other areas going up or holding. I talked to a restaurant owner, a friend of mine the other day. He says prices have stabilized, but they're not really coming down. They're just staying up. And that's my concern is I don't think we're going to see prices coming down to where they were a couple years ago. They're going to continue to stay up or go up. And how much of this really is price gouging at the restaurants or at the grocery stores or at the retailers? How much of this is price gouging now? I think there's a lot of price gouging going on. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see how it all plays out. Again, let me know your thoughts on this. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe. Have a great day out there. Be safe. And be praying for this country. Look, there's some really good things happening. They're trying to, do some things, but I got to call it the way I see it. I just don't see this as a victory. I don't think China is going to back down. I think China holds the cards. You are dealing with a country that is literally producing everything now. They have so much gold. They have such an enormous military. They have such a they're a manufacturing monster. They're doing deals. While we were, doing wars all over the world, China was running around doing deals all over the world. So, people will say, well, they're collapsing. Look at the videos, the factories, Careful, don't believe everything you see. Don't believe everything you hear, ladies and gentlemen. If they're in that much trouble over there, then I know we're in even worse trouble here. We don't have as much gold. We have really no manufacturing here. We haven't even audited Fort Knox at this point. We can't even get a house built for fire victims in LA, yet we're being told, oh, China's collapsing. It's so bad over there. Well, you better wake up and see what's happening right here in America. They're building 1,000-acre military bases underground, islands in the China Sea. I mean, fastest plane in the world, bullet trains, the biggest cities in the world. And we're sitting here $37 trillion in debt, 200 trillion in unfunded liabilities. And we're talking about how bad it is in China when we don't even make anything here. We just consume. I think people better wake up. They are living in a bubble, and you better be prepared because a new world is coming. And if you're not preparing for the new world, you're going to be left behind. My opinion. Hope I'm wrong. Let me know. God bless.